She walked away with morning light, with every shade of blue in sight. The clouds stood still to let her pass, while I just watched through fogged up glass. She didn't cry, she didn't turn, just left with all the sun I'd earned. She took the sky, I took the rain. She wore the breeze, I held the pain. She drifted off in painted hues, I stood beneath in soggy shoes. And though the world kept turning through, it split in gray and baby blue. She took the sky, I took the rain, two halves of one unspoken strain. She hummed a tune the wind would keep, while I sang low, too drenched to sleep. Her footprints vanished with the breeze, mine puddled deep beneath the trees. She flew where summer dares to go, I stayed where only cold things grow. She took the sky, I took the rain. She chased the clouds, I kissed the pain. The thunder never said her name, but echoed softly, just the same. And every time the lightning strikes, it flickers in the parting lights. She took the sky, I took the rain, and neither side can quite explain. Maybe love can't live in one, if one is shade and one is sun. We burned too bright, then broke apart, and fell into our chosen part. She took the sky, I took the rain, two stories split from one refrain. And though I wish we shared the air, some hearts are just not built to pair. So when it storms, I sing her name, and let the drops recall the flame. She took the sky, I took the... I played that song wrote from '92, the one she loved in shades of blue. But halfway through the second line, her memory stole back what was mine. Each pause, each breath, each chord I chose, her name fell soft between the notes. Her name fell between the notes, not loud, not sharp, but how it floats. A whisper, hidden melody, a ghost inside the harmony. Though I don't speak it anymore, it lingers in the minor She used to hum just half a beat, off time but always bittersweet. Now when I strum that fragile string, it's not the chord, but what it brings. A silence thick, a space that grows, where once her laughter used to glow. Her name fell between the notes, in rest and bends and distant throats. In every song that I avoid, she echoes back in every void. And though my voice won't sing her sound, she's in the hush that wraps around. Her name fell between the notes, and silence sings what love once wrote. Some names don't fade, they just transform from spoken word to something warm, like shadows in a minor scale, or breeze beneath a storm-bound sail. Her name fell between the notes, and no crescendo ever floats. So when I write a brand new line, she slips inside the in-between time. A harmony I can't erase, that haunts the quietest embrace. Her name fell between the notes, and still my hands remember those. She didn't slam a door that day, no suitcase packed, no words to say. She simply leaned into the gray and slowly let the world decay. No footsteps fading down the street, just silence curling at her feet. The way she vanished was quiet as a sigh. No storm, no scream, no reason why. Just empty cups and blinking lights that dimmed across our final nights. No flame, no ashes. The way she vanished was softer than goodbye. I spoke, but she was miles inside, like talking to a changing tide. Her laughter thinned, her glances flew to corners I no longer knew. And every time I reached her face, she'd melt into another place. The way she vanished was nothing like the films. No tears, no chase, no hallway limbs. Just air that slowly lost her scent, and echoes of where hours went. No crash, no damage. The way she vanished left only things I never meant. Some and they are none. The way she vanished still plays in quiet rooms, where shadows sweep with phantom brooms. And though I search the creaking floor, she isn't here, not anymore. No trace, no anguish, just the way she vanished, like morning lost inside perfume.
She sat beside me in the dark, a fading breath, a shrinking spark. Her eyes were there, but miles away, as if her soul had slipped to gray. I reached, but held a softer air. She vanished while she still was there. She faded like smoke, no flash, no sound, no choke, just drifted through the open blinds, left fragrance where she once entwined. No flame to stoke. She faded like smoke, and all I had was what she broke. The room still smells of her perfume, a velvet hush in every room. She didn't run, she didn't cry, she just became a kind of sky. Too wide to hold, too soft to see. She whispered out of memory. She faded like smoke. Through cracks the silence spoke. No door was slammed, no letters burned, just presence gone where I still turn. No string, no yoke. She faded like smoke and left the light too slow to sow. Some leave like thunder, sharp and sure, but she dissolved, a trace demure. Like incense lost to open wind, she left no start, she left no end. She faded like smoke, the air too thin to cloak. I chased her with the quiet breeze, but she was gone from all of these. No vow, no joke. She faded like smoke, and in her fog I learned to cope. She stood beneath the amber sky, a shadow drawn before goodbye. Her hands were calm, her breath was low. The world turned slow, but she let go. I thought she'd pause or turn around, but silence held its sacred ground. She walked past dusk, beyond the glow, where day forgets the things we know. No lanterns lit, no voices call, just evening leaves that slowly fall. No rush, no husk. She walked past dusk and left me watching shadows grow. The porch light burned my coffee cool. The birds had hushed, the crickets ruled. I watched her fade into the blend of fading blue that marked the end. The orange left her hair like flame, then vanished with no one to name. She walked past dusk like parting air, too soft to grasp, too real to bear. The trees all leaned, but made no sound, as if they knew she wouldn't turn around. No ask, no must. She walked past dusk, and I just froze and stood right there. Say dusk is where love lingers, a twilight trace on tired fingers. But some walk through and don't look back, and leave you staring at the black. No ask, no musk. She walked past dusk, and I just froze and stood right there. They say dusk is where love lingers, a twilight trace on tired fingers. But some walk through and don't look back, and leave you staring at the black. We sat in chairs too close to speak. The floorboards sighed beneath our feet. The tea had cooled, the clock stood still. No sound to chase, no voice to fill. The distance wasn't in the miles, but in the weight behind our smiles. Until the quiet sank like rain in riverbank. We didn't shout, we didn't cry, just watch the daylight wander by. No plan, no prank, until the quiet sank and took us both without a flank. The radio had lost its tune. curtain swayed a sleepy swoon. She looked at me, then looked away, like words were ghosts that dared not stay. No candles burned, but still we knew that silence does what flames can't do. Until the quiet sank, we drifted slow and blank. Our fingers curled but didn't meet, like songs unfinished, incomplete. No draw, no yank, until the quiet sank, and love went down without a thank. Some say the end comes loud and wide, but ours just slipped beneath the tide and left us standing side by side, like strangers in a shrinking ride. Until the quiet sank and left our ledger blank. No ink, no echo, just a hush that swept our names in one soft brush. No act, no rank, until the quiet sank, and all that held us came uncranked. Felt it loosen in the breeze, the thread between her hand and me. A tug once tight, then slack with grace. No warning tone, no frantic pace, just one soft pause, a glance too long, and everything we stitched went wrong. When the thread slipped, it didn't crack or rip, just floated out of where it tied, between our days and midnight rides. No tear, no grip. When the thread slipped, the world remained, but love it tipped. Didn't feel the final pull, it left no scar, no broken spool, but seams we wore began to fray, and silence wore the words away. She smiled like someone half awake, every step became a break. When the thread slipped, no vows were lost or flipped, just absence slowly filled the seams and blurred the edges of our dreams. No storm equipped. When the thread left the frame but took the script. Some bonds don't snap, they simply slide and drift beyond the reach of pride. And though I reached, I couldn't trace where she had gone, what left her When the thread slipped, the lights began to dip, and though her hand was still in mine, it felt like cloth without design, too soft to grip. When the thread slipped, we let go without a slip. She almost spoke, I almost stayed. The moment carved, but not yet weighed. Her lips began a fragile line, then folded back like closing time. No clock had chimed, no glass had rung, but something deep inside unsung, in the pause between what is and might have been. We stood like echoes out of place, too close to speak, too far to trace. No scene, no scream. In the pause between, we lost what silence can't redeem. The light was soft, the room held still. The window breathed against the sill. Her shadow touched the edge of mine, but neither dared to realign. The truth was near, but not yet named, so we just stared and left it framed. In the pause between, no lies, no sweet routine, just tension thin as autumn's air, where words were ghosts that wouldn't dare. No loud machine. In the pause between, we watched the quiet intervene. They say love ends with storms or sighs, but ours dissolved in still goodbyes. Not said aloud, not marked in ink, just slipped beneath the floor, I think. In the pause between, the world turned evergreen, but not for us, we stayed in gray, afraid to leave, too faint to stay. No king, no queen. In the pause between, we left and never broke the scene. She left no mark upon the chair, no scent of jasmine in the air, but stillness swept across the floor and painted shapes I can't ignore. No colors loud, no canvas white, just shadow sketches in the light. What the stillness drew was more than farewells do. It shaped the way the silence curled around the edges of my world. No clue, no cue. What the stillness drew was all she meant without a view. The mirror caught her not today, but framed the emptiness her way. A pillow leaned where dreams once fell, a lamp turned off but warm as well. Each quiet thing she never said now lives in corners of my bed. What the stillness drew was memory in hue, not in her voice, not in her name, and in the way the windows frame the love we knew. What the stillness drew were lines that time could not undo. Some endings ring like final bells, but others hum in softer spells. And when the room forgets her face, the silence sketches back her place. And what the stillness drew is all I still walk through. Not ghosts, not grief, just tender air that speaks of someone once so fair, too soft, too rude. What the stillness drew was her in everything I do.
I left the keys in the motel drawer, checked out with boots still wet from the floor. Gas station coffee, bitter and thin. Another town I won't come back to again. There's a radio playing some Springsteen line about hearts on fire and borrowed time. And I'm driving toward the westbound sky, chasing shadows I can't justify. Rear view full of things unsaid. Mile by mile I lose what I fled. Maybe freedom's just a lie, but I'll keep chasing that westbound sky.
miner girl with the crooked smile said we all run, but stay a while. I nodded, paid, and hit the street with ghosts asleep in the passenger seat. She said, "You look like someone gone too far." I said, "That's just how some people are." And I'm driving toward the westbound sky, where goodbye always feels bone dry. I talk to roads, to signs, to songs, pretend they answer all that's wrong. Maybe love was just a try that burned beneath this westbound sky. No map, no call, no hands to hold, just yellow lines and nights gone cold. But something in the way clouds break feels like the soul this world can't fake. So I'm driving toward the westbound sky till the ache runs out or reasons die. And if I fade behind the wheel, at least I chased what might be real, the kind of dream you can't deny when you belong to the westbound sky. She had a name like Sunday, soft and slow to say. Met her in a half-lit diner on a half-forgotten day. She stirred her coffee like a prayer, wrote poems in the steam, said, "I don't stay long anywhere, but I leave behind a dream." She was the kind that never stays, just a page in passing days. Left a note on my guitar case, just her name and not a trace. I still play that melody under skies that won't explain. She had a name like Sunday, now I only know the rain. We danced inside a laundromat to a radio half clear. She told me things I can't forget and laughed like she disappeared. I asked her where she came from. She said a place that's hard to miss, but folks don't stay too long there once they've tasted something like this. She was the kind that never stays, like a hymn that softly strays. Wrote her number on my matchbook, then watched it wash away. And though I found no final line, just her echo in refrain, she had a name like Sunday. Now I only know the rain. Some hearts are made for silence, some for roar and flame. She was somewhere in between, and I was never quite the same. She was the kind that never stays, like dawn that fades in smoky haze. I kept the song, forgot the town, but I still see her when I drown. And though the years don't bring her back, her shadow still remains. She had a name like Sunday, and it falls with every rain. The suitcase sits by the hallway door, same place she dropped the night before. Her coat still folded on the top, as if she left but couldn't stop. No zipper pull, no wheels to roll, just silence heavy, loud and whole. A suitcase still packed after she said goodbye, like a breath that never learned to die. All the dresses, all the plans, folded neat by careful hands. She said she'd leave, but not how far. Now her scent still clings like an old guitar. The suitcase still packed, just sitting there, a monument of vacant air. I almost moved it once or twice, but part of me still rolls the dice that she'll come back to claim her things, with April rain and wedding rings. But every morning proves me wrong, and every dusk just drags too long home. The suitcase still packed after she said goodbye, like a room that won't admit the sky. The socks still paired, the notes unread, like someone paused and left instead. No goodbye kiss, no taxi sound, just one bag waiting on the ground. The suitcase still packed like it's a prayer for love that left without repair. She left something worth more, a still life framed in cotton thread of what we were and what was said. A suitcase still packed after she said goodbye. Now shadows fold where hopes would lie. I leave it there, I let it be, as if she's still inside of me. And when I pass it late at night, I almost turn on one last light. A suitcase still packed, untouched, untried, like every word I kept inside. There's a diner where the jukebox stalls, postcards fade on bathroom walls. The streets forget what day it is, the clock just hums and softly sits. The train rolls by, but no one waves, just silence lined with window shades. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, where lovers leave but never cry. No waving hands, no final look, just names check out books. The doors don't slam, the lights stay dim, and time walks out on phantom limbs. A town where nobody says goodbye. They just stop calling, stop asking why. There's a porch swing creaking in the breeze, a mail slot stuffed with autumn leaves, and somewhere deep behind the glass, a woman watches seasons pass. The barber trims, the preacher speaks, but no one asks where someone sneaks. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, just disappears into the sky, like fog at dawn or dreams at 4. They leave their boots beside the door. No promises, no car alarms, just hollow steps and empty arms. Just go missing by and by. And maybe I belong right there, where silence hides in open air, where parting's not a thing you do. You just become someone they knew. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, where I once lived, so did I. No farewell notes, no candles blown, just one more shadow walking home. And if you find my voice goes dry, it's 'cause I lived like others tried. A town where nobody says goodbye, just hearts that learn to not ask why. They laid him down on a Tuesday rain. No flowers bought, no grand campaign, just flannel sleeves and boots half tied, and stories whispered, none denied. He wasn't loud, he wasn't clean, but damn, he lived in between. And the last song played at his funeral was one he wrote but never sang. A tape they found behind the stove, full of rust and no name tag. It cracked and hissed like old regrets, but held the truth he never said. The last song played at his funeral brought back the love he once had fled. The preacher paused, unsure what to do, so they let the chorus echo through. Just chords and lines
nights he spent out on his own. No organ swells, no polished hymn, just what was left inside of him. The last song played at his funeral didn't climb, didn't cry, didn't plead. It just sat there like a folded shirt full of stains and open knee. No key change, no crescendo grand, just a man trying to understand. The last song played at his funeral was softer than they thought he'd be. Some don't leave with marble words, they leave with notes they never heard. And in those lines they once denied, you hear the parts they kept inside. So the last song played at his funeral played like dust across a flame. It filled the room with broken light, and no one there would hear the same.
I changed the bulb last New Year's Eve, though no one said they planned to leave. You packed one bag, you shut the door, but left your sweater near the floor. I swept the step, I made the bed, but didn't touch the words you said. And the porch light stayed on through every dusk, through every dawn, like some small flame that won't give in, still shining where you might have been. Neighbors asked if you'd return. I just smiled and let it burn. The porch light stayed on, even when all else was gone. The dog still waits at 10:30, like you might round that bend again. The swing still creaks when no one sits, like memory tugging at its bits. I almost turned it off one night, but couldn't make that feel quite right. So the porch light stayed on, like a stubborn, quiet song. No calendar said goodbyes, just shadows painted in disguise. I read your note, I knew it true, but light don't know what hearts still do. The porch light stayed on, like someone who still hopes for you. They say some lights are just for show, but some are love that doesn't know how draw to dim or say it's done. Even when it's lost the sun. And the porch light stayed on long after all signs had withdrawn. It never asked for reason why, it only knew how not to die. And if you ever pass this place, that little bulb will know your face. The porch light stayed on, like the part of me that never moved on. The house was cold, the fire out. The night was thick with silent doubt. I found her coat behind the chair, still hanging with her in the air. It smelled like rain, like wind, like grace, like something time forgot to trace. I slept in her coat that night, held the sleeves like holding light. It wrapped me soft, it wrapped me gone to places where we still belong. No lullaby, no second chance, just fabric caught in half a dance. I slept in her coat, not for the heat, but for the ghost I couldn't meet. I didn't cry, I didn't speak, but felt her laugh in every creak. The zipper tugged like pulling back, a moment lost along the track. She left no note, just sent thread, but that's the thing that speaks instead. I slept in her coat again, like laying down beside what's been. No pillow spoke, no window stirred, just borrowed warmth and borrowed word. It didn't fit, it didn't close, but somehow fit my heart the most. I slept in her coat just to feel the only part of her still real. Somewhere grief and silent clothes, and flannel denim lace her prose, but I wore her in woolen thread and dreamed of things we never said. I slept in her coat once more on the hallway rug behind the door, and when the dawn came soft and gray, I hung it back, then walked away. But every night since that retreat, I missed the warmth that didn't speak. I slept in her coat and knew it then. I'd never quite wear love again. The diner still serves cherry pie, but no one ever wonders why. The jukebox plays the same old song, as if the years don't move along. The school is closed, the paint is peeled, but folks still cheer the empty field. This town has no clocks, no ticking hands, no midnight knocks, no bells to chime, no numbers spun, just shades pulled down against the sun. We rise and sleep, we mend and break, but time here makes no sound to take. This town has no clocks, just hearts that beat in silent blocks. The barber trims the same old hair for men whose minds aren't really there. The preacher prays for winds to shift, but sermons never seem to lift. And I've walked Main Street 50 times, each step a loop, each sigh a rhyme. This town has no clocks, no dates to mark, no wristwatch talks. We measure days and coffee stains, and watch the grass reclaim the lanes. You said you'd leave by someday soon, but never left that rusted spoon. This town has no clocks, just yesterday in every box. I once carved plans into a tree, but even that forgot to be. Now moss has claimed the hands I drew, and still the bark don't point to new. This town has no clocks, no hourglass, no time that mocks. We sit beneath a setting sky, too slow to live, too calm to die. And if you ask me when I'll go, I'll say I left here long ago. This town has no clocks, but it still knows just how to stop. The porch still leans the way it did when you leaned back and softly hid a cigarette, a bitten smile. Your words hung there for just a while, and though the steps are cracked and worn, the space still breathes the way you're gone. Rain fell where you stood, not on the grass, not on the wood, but right where you once said my name. Like heaven tried to frame the blame. The drops hit hard, the wind turned slow, as if the sky refused to know. Rain fell where you stood, like it understood, like it understood. tried to bloom that year, but soil forgot what roots hold dear. The fence you leaned on won't align. It tilts like time forgot its spine. And every April smells like then, but never brings you back again. Rain fell where you stood, in that old coat with hidden hood. It hit the earth like half goodbyes, like poems lost in lullabies. I watched it pour and didn't run, just stared until the clouds were done. Rain fell where you stood, and nothing else could. They say the sky don't pick its place, but I swear it knew your shape, your face. And though the storm is come and gone, that patch of ground still reigns alone. Rain fell where you stood, not anywhere the way it should. It didn't care for roof or shade, it only knew the mark you made. And now when storms come rolling slow, I watch that spot still take the blow. Rain falls where you once stood, and I still would. There's a window by my bed, but it don't show the trees are red. Just brick and paint in someone's wall. 1,000 inches, that's all. No sky to guess, no world to chase, just my reflection in its place. It's a window without a view, like how I feel since losing you. Still shaped like hope, still framed with care, but nothing real is ever there. I keep it clean, I draw the shade, but know the truth it can't evade. It's a window without a view, just like my heart since you withdrew. Once it faced the hills and sun, the laughter roads, the starting run. But then they built and I stayed still. Now it just stares and drinks the chill. I tried to hang a painted scene, but paint can't trick what might have been. It's a window without a view, like letters I won't send to you. It lets in light, but not the kind that warms the soul or stirs the mind. Some folks need a place to see, but I just need what used to be. It's a window without a view, just glass that time keeps breaking through. Some frames hold what once was wide, now all I see is what I hide. And though it looks like open space, it's just the outline of your face. It's a window without a view, but every dawn still filters through. I sit and watch the change in light and wonder if you're doing right. It's not a wound, it's not a scar, just proof I once knew where you are. This window without a view still shows the loss, if nothing new. It hung behind the kitchen door, worn at the cuffs, a little torn. I didn't buy it, wasn't new. It smelled like rain and distant you. I think she left it late last fall, or maybe no one came at all. The jacket that wasn't mine, but fit like something by design. It held the shape of someone's grace, a ghost stitched deep in every trace. I wore it once on colder nights and felt her leaving in the lights. The jacket that wasn't mine still held the weight of some goodbye. There's lipstick stain on collar thread, a song tag I had never read. It's not my color, not my size, but still it hides me from the skies. I asked around, but no one knew who left their past in woven blue. The jacket that wasn't mine became my shelter over time. I wore it like a borrowed fate, too warm to leave, too late to wait. And though it's torn, I patch with care, a thing not mine but always there. The jacket that wasn't mine now feels more mine than things I find. We keep what strangers leave behind and make it part of our own kind, like stories found in thrift store sleeves, or names forgotten by the leaves. The jacket that wasn't mine still hangs where time forgot the line between what's given, what's been lost, and what we wear despite the cost. I'll keep it clean, I'll keep it near, until her memory disappears. The jacket that wasn't mine now fits me just like old design. We sat too close that autumn night, you in corduroy, me in quiet. The kettle whistled, but we stayed in silences we never weighed.
I saw the flicker in your glance, but neither moved to take the chance. We never lit that fire, though the room begged with desire. The logs were stacked, the match was near, but both of us held back the fear. We smiled like friends who almost knew, but didn't dare to see it through. We never lit that fire, but it still warms me when nights tire. You told me things you'd never share, like someone testing if I care. And I replied in half-formed notes, as if we walked on frozen boats. The flame was there, the kindling dry, but love needs more than just a try. We never lit that fire, though hearts lean close, a bit inspired. You brushed my sleeve, I held my breath, but let it pass like spoken death. And though we laughed and drank our tea, the air still cracked with what could be. We never lit that fire, but I still feel its phantom choir. Some flames don't burn, they just exist, like lines we thought of but dismissed. And maybe that's a kind of grace, to leave it pure, untouched by chase. We never lit that fire, but every fall I still inquire if somewhere deep you still recall that night we nearly risked it all. No ashes here, no smoke to show, but in my chest it set aglow. We never lit that fire, yet it's the one I'll never outgrow. Your coat was gone from off the chair. No keys, no note, no perfume air. But on the table by the sun, a coffee cup said what you'd done. The lipstick marked the rising steam, felt louder than a shouted scream. The cup was still warm, like you had just outrun the storm, like you had paused to take a breath before you chose a different depth. It held no words, it held no name, but told me love had left the frame. The cup was still warm, but you were already gone. I touched the rim, it burned my skin, the way a ghost might pull you in. No sound, no slam, no final line, just
coffee cooling over time. I sat and stared like it might speak, but heat runs out and hearts go weak. The cup was still warm, like silence wearing someone's form. A trace of you in porcelain that wouldn't say where you had been. And though the toast sat in the rack, I knew you wouldn't be back. The cup was still warm, like love before it's torn. Some people leave with teary songs, but others go where stillness belongs. And all they leave are subtle signs, like cups and coats and crooked blinds. The cup was still warm, and that was how I knew the harm. It wasn't rage, it wasn't fight, just leaving wrapped in morning light. I drank it slow, then let it be the last small heat you left with me. The cup was still warm, but colder than it used to be. We used to talk till candles died, then sat in stillness, side by side. No need for questions, no replies. The room was full of unsaid whys. But in that hush, your fingers moved, a kind of grace that silence proved. And all that silence understood, the way we hurt, the way we could. It knew our joy, it knew our scars, it kept our secrets safe in jars. No need for vows, no carved out script, just breaths between the love we sipped. All that silence understood, more than our speaking ever could. You'd pour the tea, I'd hum a tune. We'd let the day dissolve too soon. The ticking clock became our verse, a language calm, both gift and curse. And when you wept, you didn't say, but silence held you anyway. And all that silence understood, the pull, the push, the barely good. It hurt our dreams before we spoke, it mended hearts before they broke. We never needed grand declare, just one still gaze, just being there. All
no one else withstood. Now you are gone, the rooms remain, but silence echoes soft with pain. Yet still it knows the shape you left and cradles me in what was kept. And all that silence understood still walks me through this empty wood. No words to summon, no song to play, just quiet that won't walk away. It loved us well, it holds me still. The quiet ache, the gentle will, all that silence. Held your coat above your hair. I stood and watched the water stare. The bus had gone, the lights were dim, but neither spoke of her or him. The thunder rolled like distant truth. We just stood like strangers soon. We waited through the rain, like silence might explain the pain. No questions asked, no plans unmade, just dripping time we let cascade. Didn't say what came before, or who we were beyond that door. We waited through the rain and knew we'd never be the same. Your fingers traced the window fall, like lovers lost inside a log. You said it's late, I said I know, but neither moved to let it show. The street lamp flickered overhead, like even light could beg instead. We waited through the rain, like maybe stillness could remain. The kind of hush that holds two hearts, that ache but never pull apart. We stayed not close, not far away, both hope and rain had more to say. We waited through the rain, because goodbye felt too insane. And though the clouds began to lift, we lingered like a final gift. For once the sky had cleared its face, we'd lose the time, we'd lose this place. We waited through the rain, like memories etched on window pane. No kiss to end, no last embrace, just water running down face. And
when you turned and walked alone. The sound of drops became my own. She wore her scarves like fading light, spoke soft as wind before the night. Her laugh would echo through the trees, then vanish with October's breeze. She came when summer lost its heat, with boots and books and cold swept street. She only loved me in fall, when amber leaves began to call, when sweaters clung and cider steamed, and hearts were less than what they seemed. She'd hold me close, then start to fade, like colors dying in the shade. She only loved me in fall, and left before the first snowball. We traced our names in window glass, watched golden days too quickly pass. She hummed old songs of rolling hills, then paused before the fire chills. I begged the sun to stretch its stay, but seasons don't delay their way. She only loved me in fall, when shadows danced along the wall, when pumpkins smiled and boots kicked leaves. But love, like trees, has times it grieves. She'd say, I'm not the winter kind, then kiss me once and slip the bind. She only loved me in fall, like stories meant to be so small.